Hey, what's up, Internet? This is Clinton Davis, and I have come prepared. So recently there's been a theory that Trump doesn't actually want to be president, and I'm going to examine the evidence there is to back that up. And now what's important to note is that Trump actually has gotten a little bit crazier in the past half a month maybe, following the Republican and Democratic National Convention. So I'm going to talk about the stuff that he has done in that time. So when Kaiser Khan, the father of a deceased Muslim soldier, made this speech at the DNC.
If it was up to Donald Trump, he never would have been in America. Donald Trump consistently smears the character of Muslims. He disrespects other minorities, women, judges, even his own party leadership. He vows to build walls and ban us from this country. Donald Trump, you're asking Americans to trust you with their future. Let me ask you, have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
Trump responded like this.
He said you wouldn't have even let his son in America.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know that. I saw him. He was, very emotional and probably looked like a nice guy to me. His wife, if you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me, but plenty of people have written that.
Now what's important to note is that Kaiser Khan responded like this.
For all of those viewers out there who are wondering why your wife stood by you silently during the convention.
Her medical condition, she has written an op-ed in her own words, her own voice. Why didn't she speak? I invited her that when you come to this stage, can you say thank you for inviting us? My husband will speak further. She said, you know my condition. When I see my son's picture, I cannot hold myself together. For this candidate for presidency to not be aware of the respect of a gold star mother standing there, and he had to take that shot at her, this is height of ignorance.
So it turns out that maybe American Muslims are people coming to America, a free country, to escape the barbaric theocrat countries that they live in. But Donald Trump doesn't realize that. And I don't know if he realizes this, but not all Germans are Nazis, and in fact, I think he is more of one than them at this point. American Muslims come to America to escape the suppressive ideologies and the theocrat governments that they live in their home countries. And I don't think it's reasonable to say that they're coming here to spread Sharia. I mean, if they were, which Donald Trump clearly thinks they are, don't you think there would be at least one Muslim congressman who tried to pass Sharia? And of course he would use coded language, which is something that Trump has not done. But, you can tell Sharia when you see it. If it says women can't drive, then there you go. I mean, they're coming here to escape that ideology. They're not coming here because they love it and they want to spread it across America, because everyone knows that's not plausible. I can't believe I haven't said this yet, but you fucking asshole. Their son died, and now you're insulting them. Unless you had 100% confirmation, maybe just shut the fuck up. And also, a lot of people saying it doesn't count as confirmation. That's not 100% confirmation. That's actually 0% confirmation. So, after all that went down, Trump decided to go to one of his rallies and say this.
ISIS is honoring President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS, okay? He's the founder. He founded ISIS.
This is just an absurd notion. I mean, there are arguments to be made about Obama's foreign policy enabling ISIS to do what they do, but to say that he's the founder of ISIS is just absurd. And also, my home state senator, Claire McCaskill, went on a news show calling Trump and Putin that she called them the founders of ISIS, which is also just completely absurd. And I saw someone in my Facebook feed who I had known supported Trump's statement of calling Obama the founder of ISIS, and they were saying that this was idiotic, but I don't see the difference. I think they're both idiotic statements, and we should denounce both of them. Nobody is the founder of ISIS except for, hang on, I have it right here, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, but he doesn't deserve his name pronounced right, and that is an easily Googleable fact. You can Google it. And Trump and Claire McCaskill apparently don't do Google. And Hugh Hewitt tried to save his ass when Trump went on his radio show. Hugh Hewitt tried to save Trump's ass by saying this.
Last night you said the president was the founder of ISIS. I know what you meant. You meant that he created the vacuum. He lost the...
And Trump replied with this.
Lost the peace.
No, I meant he's the founder of ISIS. I do. He was the most valuable player. I give him the most valuable player award. I give her too, by the way.
But he's not sympathetic to them.
So just as a side note, it's really weird that Hugh Hewitt is trying to save Trump's ass when Trump said this about him.
Mr. Trump, a year ago, you told me on my radio show, the audio and the transcript are out there on YouTube, that you would release your tax returns. True. Are you going back on your
No, I'm not.
commitment?
First of all, very few people listen to your radio show. That's the good news.
Trump has also made various claims that the election will be rigged. And now voting machines can be hacked because we've been using the same voting machine since 2002, so we're using some very outdated technology. And that's an issue on its own, but suggesting that if the chance happens that he loses the election, that it will automatically be rigged sends a clear message to his followers, many of which are violent. And it's not impossible that someone would hack the voting machines because he's a very publicly disliked figure. So there's that. But it's not very likely. And just to send that message to his followers that if that thing happens, if he does lose the election, that it is automatically rigged and there's no way that he can lose just by the fact that he has one of the highest unfavorable ratings in the country ever for anyone who's ever run for president. So there's that, but they will not see that. They will see that the election was rigged. And that sends a clear message. It's a very loud and vocal part of America that he is talking to. Also in the news, Trump talked about killing Hillary. Yep, which sounds like a Bill O'Reilly book, but it's actually a lot more serious than that. And I think this is another case of him sending a message to his followers, encouraging violence and encouraging them to do bad things because he knows he can't do it himself, but if he can get someone to do it along the way, he knows that'll work out for him. And so he did make this statement. He's once again calling upon violence, and the statement is as follows.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, that will be a horrible day.
No, I don't know about you, but I don't doubt that one of his supporters would act upon this. And now, of course, in an attempt to defend himself, Trump said this.
On the Second Amendment, everybody came to my defense because there was nothing said wrong. I'm talking about the power of the voter. And nothing was said wrong, and only the haters tried to grab onto that one, and it was very unsuccessful. We're talking about it has tremendous support and tremendous power at the voting booth.
Of course! It all makes sense now. Does everyone remember when would-be presidents Al Gore, Bob Dole, John McCain, and Mitt Romney elected their Supreme Court justices? I mean, that is the main reason you vote in primaries, because once you're the nominee of a party, you can just elect a justice. It's just how it works. No, of course not. Justices are selected by the president, and even Donald Jebediah Trump knows that. And it's not just as wonderful. When he appoints, he will appoint Supreme Court justices, and he's appointing. It'll not be as beautiful as when he points, because his fingers are long and beautiful, and that is well documented, as well as many other parts of his body. And so Trump's poll numbers have dropped 10 to 30% depending on which poll you look at, and it kind of leads to the question, does he actually want to run for president? And I'm kind of leaning towards a no. I think that along the lines of his campaign, he has realized that this is not the same as real estate. This is the president of the United States. He can't just pay someone. He can't just have someone pay him to put his name on something, and that's frustrating. And he doesn't want the responsibilities that come with president, which is why he picked a seasoned politician like Mike Pence, who I disagree with on everything, but he is a politician. He picked someone like that to do the job of president. I mean, there's a story about that you can look into, but so that's why he picked someone like that. And I don't think he wants to be president, but I could be wrong. There's no facts to support that. It's just a theory. But if you watch this video all the way through, I just want to let you know that I love you more than my emotionally detached personality will allow me to express, and that frustrates me deeply. Goodbye.